You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look me better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the second part of What If Naruto Meets Pokegirls. Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of Manidragon 5 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Hidden Leaf Village Hospital, 3 in the morning. Naruto's eyes start to flutter open as he sits up with a groan. Ugh. He looks around the room seeing white walls, an open door in the wall to his right, 2 closed windows in the wall to his left, 4 hospital beds with white sheets, thin white covers, white pillows and blue chairs next to them. Naruto looks over to the bed next to him and sees Naruto still sleeping. How did we get here? He quickly looks back over to the open door when he hears someone call out. Naruto. Then he is tackled back down onto the bed. The white-skinned girl who had just tackled him, was now rubbing her left cheek against his chest and has her arms around his neck. I knew you were okay, but it's good to see you're awake. Naruto's whole face blushes red and he gulps. He then sits up with her in his lap and looks away from her. Thank you. He then looks at her. Can you tell me your name now please? She nods her head and looks into his eyes with a playful smile. I'm like most Pokegirls, I don't have a name. Her smile then saddens a bit. Or more accurately, most of us don't remember our human names. Naruto puts his right hand on her left cheek. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. She cuts him off by shaking her head and looking back into his eyes. It's okay, just because you're an Uzumaki doesn't mean it's your fault of what happened to me. She then smiles again. Besides, you can just call me by what kind of Pokegirl I am now. Yukimi Bottoman. Her eyes widen slightly when she realizes something. Oh yeah, we're partners now. So I guess it's Yukimi Bottoman Uzumaki. Naruto looks at her with his right eyebrow raised. Well, that's a month full. He then rubs the back of his head with his left hand and blushes with a smile. I hope you don't mind me calling you Yukimi-chan for, he then looks at her with wide shocked eyes. Wait, what did you say? She was about to answer him when a groan, ugh, made them both turn to the bed next to them. Naruto sits up and rubs her forehead with her right hand. My head. I swear if that BSTRD Mizuki sucker punched me, I'll use a kunai on him to show him what it's like to live like a woman for the rest of his life. She then looks around the room and sees the other two. Oh, hey you two. How did we all get into the hospital? It's good to see you're alright Naruto. The 3 of them all turned to the open door when they heard the aged male voice. Standing in the room is an old man with Irika right behind him and Kat, who is closing the door behind her. The 69-year-old man stands 5 feet, 4 inches tall with tan peach skin, gray goatee, brown eyes, 2 liver spots under his left eye, wrinkles and thin lips. His body shape is hidden under his clothes but his big hands and slim fingers. He is wearing a red full-length kimono tied with a wile sash, white haori, and red Hokage hat with fire written in a red kanji and a small white triangular patch on the front. Naruto smiles as he looks at the 3 that entered the room. Old Man Hokage, Irika-sensei, Kat-chan. Man, it's good to see all of you. His smile then falls slightly. Are you alright now Irika-sensei? Irika smiles and he gives him a nod. Yeah, I'm okay. He then lets out a sigh while his smile saddens. Ah. I'm just sorry that I wasn't any help to you 3 out there. He then looks down at the floor with a frown. And I'm sorry that I didn't see how much Mizuki had changed. Or if I really knew him at all. The Hokage puts his left hand on Irika's right shoulder, making Irika lift his head back up to look at him. Irika-kun, you cannot blame yourself, Mizuki chose his path and now must face the consequences. After getting a nod from Irika, the Hokage then walks over to one of the chairs next to Naruto's bed and sits down. Now Naruto, will you please tell us why you stole the scroll of seals? He then looks at Naruto and then the white-skinned girl that's sitting in Naruto's lap. And who these two are? Naruto looks away with a sigh, before looking back at him with a sad look on his face. Well, here's what happened, old man. 15 minutes later. Naruto was just finishing up on what happened as he unconsciously wraps his arms around Yukimi-chan's waist. And that's what happened, old man Hokage. Irika had taken the other chair next to Naruto's bed and looks over at Naruto. So you're a real person now? Naruto nods with a small smile as she sits on the side of the bed she is on. Yeah, it looks like I am. I mean, if I can get knocked out and wake up still like this. She then looks down sadly. I guess I really am stuck like this permanently. Kat, who was standing next to the Hokage, then walks over to Naruto and sits down next to her. Hey, it's going to be okay. Yes, it's going to be hard, but if you need help you can always ask me, Naruto. Naruto smiles at her. Thanks, Kat-chan. The Hokage then gets everyone's attention as he looks at Yukimi-chan. Now before we talk more about you, my dear. He then looks at Irika with a smile. Irika-kun, if you please. Irika gets up with a nod and then looks at Naruto and Naruto with a smile. Okay, the both of you close your eyes. Naruto and Naruto both look at each other with their right eyebrows raised. They then both shrugged their shoulders and closed their eyes. After a few seconds they felt something being tied around the back of their heads. They then both opened their eyes when they hear Irika's voice. Okay. You two can open your eyes now. They both look at each other to see what Irika did, only for their eyes to widen in shock. Oh dear Kami. Placed on their foreheads is forehead protectors with navy blue cloth and metal plates. Engraved on them is a mix, a swirl and an outline of a leaf. They were on the verge of tears and Naruto looks down at the ground while Naruto looks at Irika. But Irika, why? Irika smiles back at him. For 2 reasons. 1. You risked your life to protect the village's secrets and my own life, not to mention learning a S-rank jutsu. I say you more than earned that headband. He then looks at him sadly, making Naruto look at him confusingly. And I'm sorry, Naruto. I should have known that your problem is that you have too much chakra for a normal D-rank jutsu. Naruto was about to say something when Naruto lifts her head back up and sadly looks at Irika. But why give me one of these? A few tears fall from her eyes. I'm nothing more than a living shadow clone. Irika shakes his head and then looks at her with a smile. Just because the way you were given life is not normal. It doesn't take away the fact that you were the same person, so you worked just as hard. He then looks back and forth between them again with a big smile. So congratulations to both, Naruto Uzumaki and Naruto Uzumaki. I am very proud to say that from today on, you two are proud ninjas of the Hidden Leaf Village. Naruto, after putting Yukimi-chan down on the bed, and Naruto both jump up off of the beds, walk up to Irika and wrap their arms around him in a hug while they lightly shake. Irika hugs them back while he, Kat and the Hokage all lightly chuckle. Ha 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 ha. Yukimi-chan pouts and cross her arms over her chest. What about me? I got stabbed in the shoulder. I want a headband too. The Hokage puts his left hand on her right shoulder and gives her a smile. Don't worry, you'll get your one soon. He then looks at her seriously. But first, I've got a few questions that I need you to answer. Like more about yourself and the other Pokegirls. How many more Pokegirls are in this village? And, how much danger is the human race in right now? Yukimi-chan nods her head nervously as she looks at him. I can tell you more about myself, but the scroll Naruto got from the nut job would do better telling you about us in a whole. I don't know how many Pokegirls are in this village. But with so many strong people around that I can feel, they mostly stay away from the people here until they're stronger. As for the danger, you have about a year before the hunter Pokegirls start really killing people. And I mean a lot of people. The only good but very bad thing is that, I can feel her anywhere. Naruto and Naruto had both stopped hugging Irika and had dried their tears. They along with Irika and the Hokage are looking at her with wide eyes. Kat is too, but no one could tell thanks to her mask. Naruto walks up to her and looks her in the eyes. Yukimi-chan, by her, do you mean that black light be that tricked me? She nodded her head, and just as she opens her mouth, a knock, knock from the door gets everyone's attention. The Hokage looks at the door seriously. Enter. The door opens and tigress, lioness, leopard and cheetah walk into the room. The four bow down to the Hokage with tigress in the front. Lord Hokage, the other are finished and are ready to enter. She has awakened as well, sir. The Hokage gets up and looks down at them. Good, tell her to come in first. Then tell all of the clan heads and elders that a meeting is going to be held in an hour and a half from now. Go. The four booth and stand up and bow their heads while all at once. Yes, Lord Hokage. They then exit the room. The Hokage gives Irika and Kat a nod and they nod back, then they also exit the room. He then looks at Yukimi-chan with a smile. Yukimi-chan, will you step outside of the room with me for a few minutes? Yukimi-chan looks at Naruto and then back up at the Hokage and gives him a nod. She jumps off of the bed with a smile, walks up to Naruto, grabs him by his black t-shirt, gets up on her tiptoes and pulls him into a big kiss. Naruto's whole face blushes red and his eyes are wide in shock as they kiss. She then breaks the kiss with a pop and looks into his eyes with hers half-lied. If you need me, Naruto-kun, just call out my name. She then walks to the door with an extra sway to her slim peach. The Hokage chuckles as he looks at Naruto with a smirk. Ha 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 ha. Well, it looks like you got your hands full, my boy. Good luck, Naruto-kun. As the Hokage was walking out of the room, Naruto was looking down at Naruto with her own smirk. Naruto, feeling her eyes on him, looks up at her with a frown and a blush still on his cheeks. Don't you say a DMN thing. Naruto puts her hands up in surrender and her and him both look over at the door when they hear Yukimi-chan gasp. Oh my Kami, you're so cute. They then watch her disappear to the right. Are you one of Naruto-kun's friends? They turn to each other, looking at the other with wide blinking eyes, wondering what that was all about. They turn to the door again when they hear another gasp. As the Hokage standing on the outside of the room closes the door. The woman with long red hair is standing in the room with them. She is wearing a white hospital gown that lightly hugs her body. Her violet eyes are now open wide in shock as tears run down her cheeks as she looks at Naruto. Naruto-kun. Unknown pocket dimension. Inside a small circular room that only has stars all around it for light. Two women stand inside of this small space. One of the women puts her hands on the other one's shoulders and pushes her into an invisible wall. The woman against the wall stands 6 feet tall with pale peach skin, long straight black hair that stops at her waist, red eyes with gold pupils and full lips with black lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, E-cup melons, slim waistline, full rounded peach, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a black backless dress that stops at her ankles with thin straps tied around her neck and slits on both sides from the bottom to her peach. Her finger and toe nails are black. She is breathing heavily as she looks into the eyes of the woman holding her against the wall with a smirk. So, ugh. I'm guessing you're happy with me freeing your mind then. The other woman stands 6 feet tall with white skin, long straight gray hair that goes down to her feet, with 2 bangs framing her face stopping at her waist, no eyebrows, large pale lavender eyes with the same colored pupils, a third full red eye in the center of her forehead with 3 black rings around the pupil with 3 black tomo on each line and full lips with red lipstick. Her clothes hide her body shape but her small hands with slim fingers. She is wearing a white high-collar princess kimono with a stripe of gold and one of purple around the bottom, collar and sleeves, with black tomo going around the sleeves above the gold stripe and 6 of them going down the center of it. She has long red fingernails and 2 tan horns on the top sides of her head that look like rabbit ears. The white-skinned woman smirks at her and grabs the straps of the other woman's dress. She then pulls her into a deep kiss. After a little while she breaks the kiss with a pop and smiles at her. Yes. I am very grateful for what you have done for me. And with your help I'll be free of this prison in a few years. The one with black hair smiles back as she warps her arms around the other's neck. And after we give the world the true peace it deserves. She then looks hopefully into her eyes. You can bring James back. The white-skinned woman warps her left arm around the other woman's waist, puts her right hand on the back of the other woman's head, runs her fingers through the other woman's hair and gives her a nod. Yes, I can and was going to do that anyway. I will not let death separate me from the man I love. She then pulls her body tighter against hers. Such a appealing creature he made thanks to my gift. And thank you for telling me all about you and your sisters. The black-haired woman kisses her on her left cheek. Thank you, Lady Kagaya. She then looks into her eyes. We were made to serve the one we pick and kill or enslave the rest, as you know, my lady. But you'll be the only person to own a Pokegirl that also belongs to another. Kagaya then lightly pushes her back against the invisible wall with a smirk. Enough talk. It's time that I started to reward you. She then reaches behind the black-haired woman's neck with both hands and slowly starts to pull out the knot. The black-haired woman puts her hands on Kagaya's after she untied the straps. Wait, my lady. I have one last request, please. Kagaya nods her head and looks at her seriously. Yes. If it's calling you something other than Dark Queen, then your original name will do. Dark Queen shakes her head and frowns. No, that foolish woman died a long time ago. But it is something she did that I wish to fix. After Kagaya gives her another nod, her frown changes into an uncertain smile. When you were gone, James found love again in a woman named Kakari Uzumaki. She is Hagoromo's daughter, your granddaughter, my lady. Will you bring her back to life as well? Kagaya looks at her with half-lied eyes as her fingers slide down Dark Queen's chest and grabs the top of the dress. If she knows how to share like you, then there's not going to be a problem. Now. Enough talking. Kagaya pulls down the top of Dark Queen's dress, making her large melons bounce and bunches it up around her full peach. Such a well-endowed creature you are. She then grabs both of them and lightly squeezes. Dark Queen throws her head back, closes her eyes and blushes while letting out a hua. She then opens her eyes and looks at her with a smile. Please, my lady. A little harder. Kagaya smirks as she squeezes and plays with the large melons. So my love made you very sensitive. She then pinches her tips with her index fingers and thumbs and pulls on them. Dark Queen bites her bottom lip and her blush goes down to her neck. Lady Kagaya. Kagaya stretches the large melons and watches them bounce as Dark Queen lets out another loud Oh. She then wraps her arms around her slim waist, leans down and wraps her lips around her right NPL. Dark Queen grabs the back of Kagaya's head and pulls her into her BRST. Bua. Yes. More, my lady. Bua. More. Bua. Kagaya pulls off of the BRST with a pop and then starts to SCK on the left one. After a few more seconds of eating and hearing more, bua, bua, yes, yes, bua. She then lets go of the other BRST with another pop. She then puts her hands back on the large melons and squeezes again. Dark Queen's head thrashes from side to side with her eyes closed. Bua, bua, Lady Kagaya, bua. Her peach start to roll and her knees start to buckle. Kagaya pushes the tips together and ate them as she puts her hands on Dark Queen's peach. She rubs her skin through the slits and listens to more bua, bua, Dark Queen throws her head back again and pulls her into her melons as her legs shake. F, Lady Kagaya, Kagaya lightly bites down on her tips and pulls. This makes her eyes open up wide, letting go of the back of Kagaya's head, thrsts her arms to sides with her fists hitting the invisible wall and then tilt her head back with her eyes tightly closed while letting out a cry. Eh! Kagaya pulls her off of the invisible wall and holds her up on her shaking legs. She looks over the panting woman's left shoulder with a smirk. There on the invisible floor is a small amount of clear juices that is reflecting the starlight. Dark Queen runs her hands up the back of Kagaya's kimono and then starts to unfasten it. Ha. Your turn, my lady. She then pulls it off of her and then takes a few steps back. She looks up and down Kagaya's body with a smirk. If I'm appealing, then you are gorgeous, Lady Kagaya. Kagaya has a slim body shape with slim arms, D-cup melons, slim waistline, curvy peach, shapely legs and small feet. She sits down and spreads her legs while looking at her with wide eyes. Now service your lady. I want your head between my legs. Dark Queen gets down on her hands and knees and starts to cruel to her. She stops in between her legs and looks into her eyes as she bends down. She keeps her clothed peach in the air as she ate her center. Kagaya looks down at her and watches the pink tongue run up and down her center. That's good. She puts her right hand on top of Dark Queen's head and rubs it. I want your tongue inside me. As deep as you can get it. Dark Queen closes her eyes as she enters her center with her tongue. She slowly starts to thrsts faster, listening to Kagaya's heavy breathing. Ha. She then takes her tongue out, wraps her lips around Kagaya's CLT and eats it. Kagaya tilts her head back with her eyes closed and through her closed mouth. She then looks back down at her and puts her hands on the back of Dark Queen's head. That's it. Ha. Please your MSTRS. Ha. Dark Queen lets go of her CLT with a wet pop and then starts to slam her tongue back into her. She smirks as she feels Kagaya push her tighter against her center. She then reaches around Kagaya with both hands and grabs her curvy peach. Kagaya bites her bottom lip and wraps her legs around her back. Ha. More. Ha. Just a little. Her eyes open wide when Dark Queen's tongue slams into her G-spot. She then aches her back, closes her eyes and grits her teeth, high. Dark Queen wraps her lips around Kagaya's center when she leaks and eats all of it into her mouth. She gets up on her knees when Kagaya's legs unwrap from around her back. She squeezes both of Kagaya's curvy peach cheeks as she watches Kagaya's big melons raise and fall. Kagaya watches her lean in and ate her right NPL. After she catches her breath, she pushes her off her BRST with a wet pop and then down onto the floor. She then puts her hands on either side of Dark Queen's head and uses her knees to spread her legs. Dark Queen looks up into Kagaya's eyes as she looks down at her with a smirk. She then lets out a when Kagaya presses her center against hers. Bua. Yes, take me just like this, my lady. Kagaya continues to smirk as she looks at her with half-lied eyes. That's what I plan to do. You are mine now after all. She then starts to lightly thrsts her curvy peach against the full rounded ones under her. Do you like this? Feeling my womanhood rubbing yours. Me taking you like he did. Dark Queen blushes and wraps her legs around Kagaya's waist and long hair. Yes. Ha. Please, my lady. Harder. Soon the sounds of her and the slapping of skin against skin fill the small space. Bua. Slap bua. Slap bua. Slap. Kagaya pants while she keeps thirsting and watches the large pair of melons under her bonds. Ha. Slap, I should have made love. Slap, ha. Slap, to a woman a long time ago. Slap, ha. Slap. Dark Queen rolls her full rounded peach and her hands tighten into fists at her sides. Bua. Slap, F. Slap, Lady Kagaya. Slap, Bua. Slap, Bua, slap, almost, slap, Bua. Slap, her eyes open wide when Kagaya grabs both of her large melons and squeezes them. She then closes her eyes tightly, grabs Kagaya's shoulders and aches her back with a loud cry. Eh! Kagaya, feeling her juices splash onto her center, aches her back and lets out a loud groan with her head thrown back. Ugh, hi! Her curvy peach are pressed tightly against the full rounded ones as she leaks. After a few seconds of catching their breath, Dark Queen pulls Kagaya down into a deep kiss. They break the kiss with a pop and she looks up into Kagaya's eyes. That was so good, my lady. Thank you for rewarding me like that. Kagaya smirks and rubs Dark Queen's right cheek with her left hand. Oh, we're far away from done. Her smirk grows seeing Dark Queen's eyes widen in shock. Don't look so surprised. You've slept with James. You should be used to all-nighters. She then looks at her seriously. After I'm done taking you and you can feel your legs again, you and I can find a way out of this prison. And you can't get out of here now that you are flesh and blood again. Dark Queen nods her head and looks up at her with a smile. Yes, my lady, but with us working together we should be able to break out of here in 3 years. For at the most. She then reaches up with both hands and runs her fingers through Kagaya's long gray hair. Kagaya gives her a quick kiss and smirks at her with half-lied eyes. Good. Now I believe we still have a few more hours of my taking you before that. She then kisses her deeply as she continues to take her Pokegirl over and over again. Hidden Leaf Hospital, 1:31 in the morning. Inside of one of the hospital's many rooms, the young teen girl with short brown hair and the purple markings on her cheeks sits on the only bed inside of it. She is now wearing a white hospital gown that stops at almost halfway down her thighs. She now has her eyes open, showing that they are brown in color. She looks to her right as the door to the room opens. Doctor, can you please tell? She cuts herself off as her eyes widen in shock at seeing a man that walks into the room. Kakashi-kun. Kakashi stands 5 feet, 11 inches tall, peach skin, spiky sliver hair that sticks straight up, only his right black eye is viable and the rest of his face and his neck is covered with a dark blue cloth. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing the same things as Irika see Chapter 1 but also has dark blue fingerless gloves with metal plates on the back, and his forehead protector is on his head but tilted to the left to cover his left eye. Kakashi just stares at the young woman for a few seconds. His viable eye not giving away what he's thinking. He then walks up to the young woman and wraps his arms around her in a hug while closing his eye. I don't care how and I don't care why. It's good to see you again, Rin. Rin blinks in shock while lightly blushing before closing her eyes and hugging back. She stops blushing and sadness fills her voice. I'm so sorry I jumped in the way. Sorry that I made you kill me. Sorry I made you break your promise to Obito. I just wanted to protect the village. She then whispers. To protect you. Kakashi pulls back a little while putting his left hand on her right shoulder and looks into her eyes. Now I know you have a lot of questions, Rin. I'll answer as many as I can. Rin looks up at him with unshed tears in her eyes. I died, right? So how am I here? Is Obito alive? Where are my parents, Sensei and Lady Kushina? Did she have the baby? She then takes a good look at Kakashi and notices that he looks older and is taller. How long have I been gone? Kakashi looks at her sadly and lets out a sigh. Ah. Will, to start with. Yes, you did die that day. You have been dead for a little over 13 years now. Rin's eyes widen at that part. As for Obito, he then looks away from her but keeps his hand on her shoulder. No, he's not coming back like you did. Rin looks down sadly and a tear falls from her left eye. Oh, I see. I really hoped he was here too. She looks back up at him when she feels him lightly rubs her shoulder. Kakashi then crosses his arms over his chest and looks at her seriously. As for how you're here. Someone that we still don't know who yet, used a jutsu they called BLD clone jutsu to bring you and 3 others back to life. Rin looks up at him with wide shocked-filled eyes. I'm a BLD clone. She then looks down at her hands. But I feel like me. She then looks back up at him with fear-filled eyes. But I can remember everything that happened. I'm not a FAC, am I? Kakashi looks at her seriously and shakes his head. No, BLD copy or not, you are Rin Noera, a proud kunoichi of the hidden leaf. He then closes his eye, making it look like he was given her a smile as he continues in a happier tone. As well as my teammate and one of my the best friends. Rin blinks as she looks at him in surprised shock before giving him a smile. She was about to say something when he looks away from her again, making her look at him in confusion. Kakashi-kun. Kakashi then looks back at her sadly. As for your parents, Lady Kushina and Sensei. They all died 13 years ago. His right hand tightens into a fist as anger fills his voice. When somehow the Kyuubi got free. Rin's eyes widen in shock as her mouth drops open and tears fall from her eyes. No, Lady Kushina, Sensei, Mom, Dad. She then covers her eyes with both of her hands as she cries into them. No, no. Kakashi rubs her back gently with his left hand as he looks at her sadly. Take as much time as you need, Rin. When you're ready, we have some people to meet up with. He then turns his head to the right and looks at the door. Not to mention, someone I should have met a long time ago. I'm sorry, Naruto. Hidden Leaf Hospital, 1:31 in the morning. Inside of a different room. Just before Kakashi entered the room with Rin inside of it. The woman with long dark blue hair is sitting up on a bed facing the door inside another room. She is wearing the same white hospital gown as Rin. Her now opened eyes show that they are a pale lavender in color. She is looking down sadly at her hands clasped in her lap. I know I died, but how am I here? I remember looking into Hayashi's eyes as he held me. Thinking that I couldn't even tell Hinata-chan goodbye. That Hanabi-chan would grow up not even knowing me. The woman just let tears fall from her eyes as the door opens. She looks up as a man, a young teen girl and another girl walk into the room. The woman smiles as she looks at the 3 people that are now standing in the room. The man stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall with peach skin, long straight brown hair that stops at mid-back, pale lavender eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a white long sleeve robe, black belt around his waist, brown haori, and black sandals. The young teen girl stands 4 feet, 10 inches tall with pale peach skin, short dark blue hair with 2 bangs framing her face, pale lavender eyes and full lips. She has a fit body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, curvy peach, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a tan zipped-up jacket with white fur trimming the bottom that hides the top half of her body, blue peach hugging pants, a black pouch strapped to her right thigh, blue sandals and her forehead protector around her neck. The other girl stands 4 feet, 4 inches tall with peach skin, long straight brown hair that stops at mid-back while framing her face, pale lavender eyes and full lips. She has a fit body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, slim peach, slim legs and small feet. She is wearing a blue V-neck shirt, mesh armor under it, blue shorts and blue sandals. The teen girl's eyes widen and tears fall from them as she looks at the woman. She runs the short distance, jumps up onto the bed and wraps her arms around the woman. She puts her head down onto the woman's chest and cries into it. Mother. The woman smiles as she wraps her arms around the teen girl while rubbing the back of the teen's head with her right hand. My sweet Hinata-chan. You've grown up so much. She then looks over at the other girl, who is looking back at her confusingly. My little Hanabi-chan, you've grown too. She then reaches out to her with her left hand. Hanabi walks up to the bed and looks into the happy tear-filled eyes of the woman. After a few seconds of just staring at the woman, she jumps up onto the bed and hugs her along with the teen girl. The woman now has her right arm around Hinata and her left around Hanabi as she looks down at the both of them. My two appealing girls. I'm so sorry I left you. The man walks up to the bed and looks at the girls with a stern look on his face. Hinata, Hanabi, I know you're both happy to have your mother back, but this is a hospital. Behave yourselves. Both of the girls quickly jumped down off of the bed and bowed down to the man. The two of them then say at the same time, sorry father. They then turn back to their mother and give her a bow too, with Hinata going first. Sorry mother. Then Hanabi with a little uncertainty in her voice. Yes, sorry mother. The woman looks at the man confusingly with a small frown. Hayashi-kun, it's alright. Just by looking at our appealing girls and how they have grown, shows me that I have been gone a long time. She then looks at the two girls with a big smile. So they can show me just how happy they are to see me. As I am happy to have a second chance to be a part of their lives again. Hinata looks at her mother with a smile as tears continue to fall from her eyes. Hanabi looks a little shocked at her words before a small smile forms on her face. Hayashi walks up to the woman on her right side and places her right hand in both of his. He looks into her eyes with a small smile. I am also very happy to see you again, Hitomi. His then stops smiling and looks at her seriously. But we have much to discuss later. He then lets go of her hand and turns while walking to the door. For now, Lord Hokage wishes to speak to us and a few others. He opens the door and looks over his right shoulder at Hinata. Hinata, give your mother the clothes we bought her. Hinata bows to her father and answers him with a timid tone. Yes, father. She then stands back up straight while reaching into the pouch with her right hand. She turns back to Hitomi while pulling out a sealing scroll and hands it to her with a smile. Here you go, mother. This is some of your clothes that I was allowed to keep. Hitomi gives her a smile as she takes the scroll with her left hand. Thank you, Hinata-chan. Hayashi is looking at Hinata with a frown when she answered him with her timid tone. Looks like we have to talk about your weakness again when we get home, Hinata. Hinata flinches and looks down sadly. Hanabi looks at Hayashi with her head tilted slightly to the right and a little confused look on her face. Hitomi looks at him with shocked eyes before she has a small frown form on her face and was about to say something. Hayashi then walks out of the room. I will wait out here while you get dressed, Hitomi. He then closes the door behind himself. Hitomi looks at her two daughters, seeing Hinata still looking down in sadness and Hanabi looking at her big sister in worry. She gets out of the hospital bed and then opens the scroll. Hayashi-kun, you have a lot of explaining to do. Hidden Leaf Hospital, 1:31 in the morning. Inside of yet another room. Inside of another room in the hospital, the woman with long black hair is sitting up on a hospital bed. She is wearing the same white hospital gown as the other two women. Her eyes are open, showing that she has black eyes as she looks down at her lap sadly. Fugaku-kun, is what Itachi-kun said true? Were you and some of the others really going to do something so stupid? How many people would have died if that happened? Tears then start to fall from her eyes. And Itachi-kun, did you really kill everyone in the clan, even all the children? Her eyes widen for a second before she covers her mouth with her left hand and a look of horror fills her eyes. No, Sasuke-kun. Dear Kami, no. Please, you didn't kill your brother to Itachi-kun, did you? Oh Kami, I lost both of my babies. While the woman is crying, she didn't hear the door to her left open and a teen boy walking in. The teen boy stands 5 feet tall with pale peach skin, short black hair with 2 bangs framing his face, also has spikes sticking up to the side on the back, black eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, small hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and small feet. He is wearing a short-sleeved blue shirt, with a fan printed on the back with white for the handle with red at the top, white shorts that stops below his knees, white forearm warmers with blue lining the top and bottom, a black pouch strapped to his right thigh, long blue sandals with white bandages wrapped around the part that covers his legs and his forehead protector around his head. The teen boy stops walking as he looks at the woman in complete shock. What kind of a sick joke is this? He then looks at her hatefully as she looks up at him in surprise. Who the hell made you? He then gets madder when she doesn't say anything. Answer me. The woman just stares at the teen boy as the tears fall from her eyes. A big smile slowly forms on her face. Sasuke-kun. She then jumps out of bed and runs to him. Sasuke-kun. As soon as she gets close enough to him she wraps her arms around him in a tight hug. Thank Kami you're okay. Sasuke's eyes are open wide as the woman hugs him. He looks down as he grits his teeth and his hands tighten into fists. You're not her. The woman pulled back a little bit and looks at him confusingly as the last of her tears fall. What did you say, Sasuke-kun? Sasuke pushes her off of him and glares into her eyes. You are not my mother. She died 5 years ago with everyone else in my clan. He then looks down as his body shakes in anger. Itachi made sure that I knew that. He showed me him killing her over and over again. The woman looks at him in shock before looking down as well. Itachi-kun, did you really put your little brother through that kind of hell? But why would you do that to him? You said you were protecting the village, so why do that to Sasuke-kun? She then looks at her right hand when she feels something against it. Sasuke is holding a sealing scroll in his right hand that he is resting against the woman's. He is looking away from her and his voice is still filled with anger. Here. These are some of my mother's clothes. I was told to bring them. Get dressed, the Hokage is waiting for us. I'll be outside. When he feels her take the scroll he then starts to walk to the door. The woman looks at him sadly and has a hurt tone in her voice. Sasuke-kun. This makes Sasuke stop as his body flinches, but he doesn't look at her as she continues. I know this is hard to believe, but hell. I am your mother. I don't know how I'm alive again, but I promise you Sasuke-kun. It's me. Sasuke bites his bottom lip as his eyes fill with unshed tears. You are not my mother. He then walks out of the room and closes the door behind himself. The woman smiles sadly as she looks at the door and lets out a sad laugh. Ha ha ha. Even though they both are still alive. A tear then falls from her right eye. I still lost my babies. Hidden Leaf Hospital, 2:24 in the morning. Inside of the room with Naruto, Naruko and the red-haired woman. The two new siblings stare at the crying woman with confused looks on their faces. Naruto takes a few steps closer to the woman while looking up into her eyes. Are you okay, lady? And how do you know my name? The woman then suddenly rushes forward and picks up Naruto off of his feet. She hugs him tightly with her right hand rubbing the back of his head. I'm so sorry I left you, Naruto-kun. I'm so sorry I haven't been here to watch you grow up. I'm sorry I haven't been here for you, my sweet baby. Naruto let out a small yelp when the woman picked him up. He started to blush as the woman held him tightly and he blinked in shock. His eyes widened when he heard the last thing she said. Mom. The woman pulls back a little bit to look into his eyes. Yes, I'm your mother. My name is Kushina. I know you probably hate me, but she stopped when he hugs her back tightly and rests his head on the left side of her neck. Her eyes widen and then she looks down at him. Naruto-kun. Naruto shakes his head as tears fall out of the corners of his closed eyes. No, I don't hate you, Mom. I know you and Dad died protecting me from that DMN fox. I just so happy to finally meet you. Ugh. Even if you both had just abandoned me. Ugh. I still wanted to know who you two were. Where I come from. If you too loved me or hated me like everybody else. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Kushina put him down, put her left hand on his right cheek and made him look into her tear-filled loving eyes. Your father and I could never hate you, Naruto-kun. We love you so much. We were so happy that we were going to have you. We were so proud of you even before you were born. Never forget that, my Naruto-kun, me and your father will always love you. Naruto looks up into her eyes as tears continue to fall. He then gives her a big smile and hugs her tightly, which she returns. Naruto stares at Kushina with tears falling from her own eyes. Mom. She then covers her mouth with both hands and her eyes widen as she said that louder than she wanted to. Kushina looks at her and her eyes widen in shock. Who are you? And why do you look like an older female version of my Naruto-kun? Naruto let her arms fall to her sides as she looks down sadly. It's a long story, Kushina. Kushina keeps her left arm around Naruto and reaches with her right hand to Naruto's left cheek. She then makes her look into her eyes. I'm listening. Tell me everything. Naruto gives her a nod as her and Naruto explain everything that happened yesterday to a few hours ago. A few minutes later. Kushina is crying with her eyes closed as she hugs both Naruto and Naruto tightly. I'm so sorry you two have gone through so much CRP. She then pulls back a little bit to look into Naruto's eyes. And I can't imagine what you must be going through, Naruto-chan. She then gives her a small smile. But I promise as your mother, I will be here for you, sweetie. Naruto looks at her in shock as tears fall from her eyes. Why, you really think of me as your daughter? Kushina gives her a big smile and a nod. Of course I do. I always wanted more than one child. And I hoped that it would be a girl. You might have been born differently than I thought you would be, but I love you. She then looks down at Naruto. Just as much as I love you, Naruto-kun. Naruto's body shakes as she tries not to cry out loud. She wraps her arms around Kushina tightly as she cries into Kushina's right shoulder. Mom, Mom. Naruto took a step back and looks up at his mother and sister hugging with a smile. He then looks over at the door before looking back at the two women. I think we kept everyone waiting long enough. He then starts to walk over to the door. I'll tell the old man that we're ready now. While Naruto was opening the door, Kushina and Naruto sat down on the bed that Naruto was sleeping in. Naruto sat near the end of the bed with Kushina sitting to her right. When Naruto opened the door, the first person he saw was the Hokage. Okay, old man. You and everyone can in now so we can find out more about Yukimi-chan. Hearing Naruto say her name, Yukimi calls out to him with a big smile on her face. Naruto-kun. Hey, this cute girl is one of your friends, right? Naruto steps out of the room and turns to the right to look at her with his right eyebrow raised. Who are you talking about, Yukimi? He stops and his eyes widen as he sees the girl Yukimi is taking about. Hinata-chan. Hinata, who has her right arm being hugged tightly between Yukimi's melons and a blush on her face, looks over at Naruto when she hears him say her name. Naruto-kun. She then pulls away from Yukimi and dashes at Naruto. When she gets close enough, she hugs him tightly and rests her head on his right shoulder. Naruto-kun. Naruto's whole body blushes red and goes stiff as he looks ahead with wide shocked-filled eyes. Hinata-chan is hugging me. I'm being hugged by one of the cutest girls in the academy. Oh my Kami. I swear if I was one of those cartoon characters that I've seen, steam would be coming out of my ears and my eyes would have turned into hearts. He then loudly gulps and looks down at her. Hinata-chan, why are you? Hinata's soft voice cuts him off as she continues to hug him tightly. Thank Kami you are okay. Irika-sensei told us what happened. I'm so happy you're alright, Naruto-kun. Everyone had different expressions as they watched Hinata hugging Naruto. Most of the women were giggling. Kakashi was giving them an eye smile. The Hokage and Irika were both smiling. Yukimi has a little pout on her face thinking. I want to hug Naruto-kun too. Don't hog him, Hinata-chan. Hanabi has a smirk on her face while looking at Hinata. Oh, I'm so going to tease you about this later, sister. Naruko had her arms crossed under her big melons and a frown on her face. That's not fair. I want Hinata-chan to hug me to DMN it. Sasuke just rolls his eyes and looks away from them. Hayashi steps forward with a frown on his face. Hinata, control yourself. Let go of Uzumaki and apologize to him. Hinata's eyes widen and her whole body blushes just as red as Naruto's. She quickly lets go and bowls down. I am sorry, Naruto-kun. I was just happy that you're okay. Please forgive my behavior. Naruto shakes his head with the blush still on his cheeks. No, it's all right, Hinata-chan. I should be saying sorry to you for making you worry. She stands back up straight while looking at him in surprise. He gives her a small smile and she shyly smiles back. Naruto was going to say something to her when Sasuke walks between them to step into the room. He looks over his right shoulder at Naruto. Naruto, all of us, especially Lord Hokage, don't have all day for this. Naruto looks at him with a surprised glare. Sasuke. What the hell? Sasuke cuts him off and looks away from him. Not so loud. We're in the hospital, remember? Just come on already. He then walks over to the far right corner in the room and leans against the wall. Yukimi rolls her eyes and walks up to Naruto, grabbing his left hand with her right. Talk about killing the mood. She then looks up at Naruto with a smile. Come on, Naruto-kun. She then pulls him into the room. When everyone else walks inside of the room, Rin, Hitomi, and the woman with long black hair eyes widen when they see Kushina. Lady Kushina. Kushina-chan. Kushina looks up at them with shocked eyes, but a big smile quickly forms on her face. Rin-chan. Hitomi-chan. Mikoto-chan. It's so good to see you all. She then gets off of the bed and walks up to them to give each of them a hug. After her hug, Rin looks up at Kakashi with a small glare, a pout on her face and her hands on her slim peach. Kakashi-kun, why didn't you tell me that Lady Kushina is like me? I thought that I would never see her again. Kakashi closes his eye and rubs the back of his head with his right hand while nervously chuckling. Ha 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 ha. Sorry, I thought that the surprise would put a smile on your face. After what I told you. Rin then gives him a small smile and a nod. Kushina looks up at Kakashi with a surprised look. Kakashi-kun. Look at you. You've gotten so tall. She then gives him a hug with a smile and he hugs her back. It's good to see you again, Kakashi-kun. Kakashi looks down at her while hugging her. And it's good to have you alive again, Lady Kushina. The Hokage raises his right fist to his mouth and clears his throat to get everyone's attention. Hum. Now I know all of you must have a lot of questions, but they will have to wait for later. I have called for a council meeting that will take place in a little over an hour from now. And all of you will be attending it as well. But for right now. He then looks over his left shoulder at Kat and her team and gives them a nod. Kat nods back at him and then turns around to her team. Lioness, Leopard, Cheetah, you three take the windows. Tigress, you're with me at the door. The four women nod back and all answer at the same time. Yes, Captain. As Lioness, Leopard, and Cheetah walked up to the windows, Tigress closes the door, pulls out a small square of white paper from one of her pockets and places it on the center of the door. Cheetah pulls out two identical pieces of paper and puts them on the windows. Cat, Lioness, and Leopard quickly go through a few hand seals, and when they stop, their right index fingers glow a faint blue. They put their fingers on the pieces of paper, making them faintly glow blue, and black writing appear on them. Cat looks over at the Hokage and gives him a nod. Privacy seals in place, Lord Hokage. The Hokage gives her a smile before looking over at Naruto. Now, Naruto-kun. I think it's about time we found out more about your ancestors' creations. A few seconds later and everyone is sitting or standing in the room. Kat and her team are guarding the door and windows. Sasuke is still leaning in the same corner. Mikoto is sitting in the blue chair closest to Sasuke. Hitomi is sitting on the end of the bed that Mikoto is next to with Hinata to her right and Hanabi to her left. Hayashi is sitting in the other blue chair next to them. Sitting on the bed Naruto was sleeping on is Kakashi, Rin in the middle and Iruka near the end. The Hokage is sitting in a blue chair that he put in between the beds and is facing the other one. Sitting on this bed is Naruto near the end, Kushina in the middle and Naruto sitting near the chair that Yukimi is sitting in. Naruto pulls out the scroll from his left pocket and opens it. Great, I get to read about the nut job again. Yeah. Kushina looks down at him confusingly. Nut job? What are you talking about, Naruto-kun? He passes the scroll to her and she takes it and reads it out loud. After a few minutes everyone but Naruto is wide-eyed after hearing all of that. Well, he definitely wasn't playing with a full deck. Mikoto looks at Kushina with a small smile. True, but that means that our clans are related to each other. No wonder we made such a good team. The Hokage cuts in which looking at Kushina. Like I said earlier, all of the other stuff has to wait for later. Please continue, Kushina-chan. Kushina was about to bite down on her right thumb. When Naruto takes the scroll from her. Don't worry mom, I got this part. She bites down on her right thumb and smears her BLD on the seal. After a quick puff of smoke with a poof another scroll appears. Naruto opens the new scroll and after looking at it rolls her eyes. Dear Kami, this guy writes a lot. I bet he probably liked the sound of his own voice too. Ah. Anyway, here we go. She then starts to read it out loud. Now to tell you more about my wonderful creations, you first need to know how I created them. While studying the piece of the God tree, I was able to access all types of chakra. There are 55 different ones in total. Naruto then lets out a sigh and rolls her eyes. Man, by the way he goes on and on, you'll think he discovered chakra or something. Hinata then timidly replies. Maybe he did. Everyone turns to look at her making her look down shyly. Well maybe he was the first person who found out that chakra has different types. There are a few chakra types listed in that scroll that I have never heard before. The Hokage nods his head and then looks back at Naruto seriously. Yes. That may be true, but that will wait for later. Naruto-chan, please continue. Naruto gives him a smile as she nods her head. You got it, old man. She then continues to read out loud. By mixing or just placing the most purest form of these chakras inside of the young women I have given new purpose to is how I made my appealing Pokegirls. Now you are probably wondering why I only used women and not men. There are 3 reasons why actually. One is in memory of my appealing Kagaya. Because if anyone should rule this world, it should be a goddess just like her. 2 is because most men and a few women always fall for a pretty face and a curvy body. Mankind hunted down by what they lust after, poetic don't you think? And 3, thanks to my first creation I found out that with SEC they can change and get stronger. So women just work out better for me. Now, as for the part about SEC making them stronger. I found out that after a few days after a Pokegirl has SEC with a human, they change and become much stronger. This change I call chakra evolution, and I guess that humans will still have a purpose in the future after all. As SEC slaves to my wonderful creations of course. But, my nun, black heart, Pokegirls seem to want to bond with humans than kill or use them. But no matter, in the end my Pokegirls will rule this world and mankind will be put in their place. Everyone in the room could just blink after hearing that. Sasuke looked over at Naruto with his right eyebrow raised. Man dead last, your ancestor was crazy. Naruto and Naruto glared back at him while Kushina looks at him with an unhappy shocked look on her face. Mikoto looks at him with a small glare. Sasuke-kun. Apologize to Naruto-kun right now. Sasuke looks over at her with his own glare, but his eyes widen in fear as Mikoto's eyes turn red and 3 black tomos circle around her black puppies. He looks away from her and grits his teeth. Sorry, Naruto. Naruto and Naruto both smirked at him because Naruto looks back at the scroll and continues. Now for the basic information about my Pokegirls. They no longer have human names, but some of them remember it for some reason or another. They also take the last name of the person they're with as well. But none of that matters, what they are is who they are. Just like my Dark Queen. Pokegirls have 19 element types and 7 classes, but before that I'll tell you about the Pokegirl Chakra evolution line. Most Pokegirls can only chakra evolve 3 to 4 times, with a few that can go beyond that. Some of them can even have multiple chakra evolution lines. When this happens, the Pokegirl will split into multiple copies depending on how many chakra evolution lines that Pokegirl has. Sometimes more than SEC is needed for the Pokegirl to chakra evolve. Some need an item that is made out of the Pokegirls and the person's combined chakra after section. Some need the extra chakra from special areas. Some depending on the time of day, and some need the extra chakra from other Pokegirls. Now, let me tell you about the 19 different element types of Pokegirls. Normal Pokegirls might not seem special compared to the others, but they can use all chakra types, and some of the most powerful I've made are of this element. Their attacks don't really damage rock and steel element Pokegirls and do nothing to ghost element Pokegirls. But ghost attacks do nothing to them. They are very weak to fighting attacks. Fire Pokegirls can make and control fire without using chakra. They are immune to hot temperatures and can even survive in lava for a few minutes. They mostly use fire, steam, smoke, lava, molten, ash, bomb, blast, heat and sun chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage fire, water, rock and dragon element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage grass, ice, bug and steel element Pokegirls. They take little damage from fire, grass, ice, bug, steel, light and fairy attacks. They are weak to water, ground and rock attacks. Water Pokegirls can make and control water without chakra. They can breathe underwater and can even talk to sea life. They mostly use water, mud and steam chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage water, grass and dragon element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage fire, ground and rock element Pokegirls. They take little damage from fire, water, ice and steel attacks. They are weak to electric, light and grass attacks. Electric Pokegirls can make and control electricity without chakra. They can survive off of electricity if they can't find food or water. They mostly use lightning, levitation, magnetic, laser, bomb and flash chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage electric, grass or dragon element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage water and flying element Pokegirls. Their attacks do nothing to ground element Pokegirls. They take little damage to electric, flying, light and steel attacks. They are weak to ground attacks. Grass Pokegirls can grow, heal and control plants with very little chakra. They can survive off of sunlight when they can't find food. They mostly use wood, paper and flower chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage fire, grass, poison, flying, bug, dragon and steel element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage water, ground and rock element Pokegirls. They take little damage to water, electric, grass and ground attacks. They are weak to fire, ice, poison, flying and bug attacks. They take no damage to light attacks. Ice Pokegirls can make and control ice and snow without chakra. They are immune to cold temperatures. They mostly use ice, snow and cold chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage fire, water, ice and steel element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage grass, ground, flying and dragon element Pokegirls. They take little damage to ice and light attacks. They are weak to fire, fighting, rock and steel. Fighting Pokegirls are born masters of hand-to-hand combat, some of them can even MSTR different kinds of weapons. They mostly use yang, sweat, swift and doubling chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage poison, flying, psychic, bug and fairy element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage normal, ice, rock, dark and steel element Pokegirls. They take little damage to bug, rock and dark attacks. They are weak to flying, psychic and fairy attacks. Poison Pokegirls can make and control any kind of poison without chakra. They are immune to all poisons. They can survive off of eating garbage and drinking polluted water. They mostly use toxic, venom, acid and smoke chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage poison, ground, rock and ghost element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage grass and fairy element Pokegirls. Their attacks do nothing to steel element Pokegirls. They take little damage to grass, fighting, poison, bug and fairy attacks. They are weak to ground and psychic attacks. Ground Pokegirls can make and control earth without chakra. They can travel through the ground faster and longer than all other kinds of Pokegirls. They mostly use sand, mud and dust chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage grass and bug element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage fire, electric, poison, rock and steel element Pokegirls. Their attacks do nothing to flying element Pokegirls. They take little damage to poison and rock attacks. They are weak to water, grass and ice attacks. They take no damage to electric attacks. Flying Pokegirls can make and control wind without chakra. They have the ability to fly even if they don't have wings. They mostly use wind, sound and cloud chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage electric, rock and steel element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage grass, fighting and bug element Pokegirls. They take little damage to grass, fighting and bug attacks. They are weak to electric, ice and rock attacks. They take no damage to ground attacks. Psychic Pokegirls can move things with their minds, talk telepathically and teleport anywhere they want to. They mostly use mind, glass, crystal and forcing chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage psychic and steel element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage fighting and poison element Pokegirls. Their attacks do no damage to dark element Pokegirls. They take little damage to fighting and psychic attacks. They are weak to bug, ghost and dark attacks. Bug Pokegirls can talk to insects, arachnids and have strong skin. They can eat almost anything. They mostly use venom, sound, draining and swift chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage fire, fighting, poison, flying, ghost, steel and fairy element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage grass psychic and dark element Pokegirls. They take little damage to grass, fighting and ground attacks. They are weak to fire, flying and rock attacks. Rock Pokegirls can make and control solid stone without chakra. Their skin is as strong as rock. They mostly use stone, sharpening and crystal chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage fighting, ground and steel element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage fire, flying, ice and bug element Pokegirls. They take little damage to normal, flying, fire and poison attacks. They are weak to water, grass, fighting, ground and steel attacks. Ghost Pokegirls can make themselves invisible, phase through solid objects and some of them can fly. They mostly use levitation, dead, hell, draining and dark chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage dark and light element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage psychic, light and ghost element Pokegirls. Their attacks do no damage to normal element Pokegirls. They take little damage to poison and bug attacks. They are weak to ghost, dark and light attacks. They take no damage to normal and fighting attacks. Steel Pokegirls can make and control any kind of metal without chakra. They can turn their limbs into blades and some can change into weapons. They mostly use sound, sharpening, metal, gold and flash. Their attacks don't really damage fire, water, electric and steel element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage ice, rock and fairy element Pokegirls. They take little damage to normal, grass, ice, flying, psychic, bug, rock, dragon, steel, light and fairy attacks. They are weak to fire, fighting and ground attacks. They take no damage to poison attacks. Fairy Pokegirls can use their chakra like magic, giving them the ability to fly, purify, heal or be gifted with long life. They mostly use sound, levitation, dust, flower, cloud and flash chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage fire, poison, light and steel element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage fighting, dragon and dark element Pokegirls. They take little damage to fighting, bug, light and dark attacks. They are weak to poison and steel attacks. They take no damage to dragon attacks. Dark Pokegirls can make and control darkness without chakra. They can travel through shadows very quickly. They mostly use cold, hell, draining, swift, doubling, darkness and gravity chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage fighting, dark and fairy element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage psychic, ghost and light element Pokegirls. They take little damage to ghost and dark attacks. They are weak to fighting, bug, light and fairy attacks. They take no damage to psychic attacks. Light Pokegirls can make and control light without chakra. They can survive without food and water by absorbing light. They mostly use laser, heat, absorbing, sun, swift, flash and light chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage fire, electric, ice, steel, light and fairy element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage water, ghost and dark element Pokegirls. Their attacks do no damage to grass element Pokegirls. They take little damage to ghost, light and fairy attacks. They are weak to dark attacks. Dragon Pokegirls live for the longest out of all the other Pokegirls. They can share their very long life with anyone they choose. They can use all chakra types. Their attacks don't really damage steel element Pokegirls. Their attacks really damage dragon element Pokegirls. Their attacks do no damage to fairy element Pokegirls. They take little damage to fire, water, electric and grass attacks. They are weak to ice, dragon and fairy attacks. Naruto lets out a sigh as she closes her eyes. Ah! Man, this is a lot. She then opens her eyes and looks down at the scroll with her right eyebrow raised. But why in the hell is he telling us all this? Irika, who is looking down seriously with his right elbow in his left hand and his right fist in front of his face, looks up at Naruto. Who much is left, Naruto? Naruto looks over at him with a smile. Not too much left, Irika-sensei. I'm almost done. Kushina then lightly takes the scroll from her, making Naruto look at her in surprise. Huh, Mom? Kushina looks at her with a smile. Don't worry, Naruto-chan, I'll take it from here. Naruto gives her a great full smile with a nod. She then looks down at the scroll and continues where Naruto left off. Now the last thing I'll tell you about my wonderful creations is the 7 classes I've put them in. The first is really a sub-class that have several within the other 6 classes. Black Heart Pokegirls are the ones that will shape the future. I made them from women that were called evil, but thanks to me and some negatively charged chakra, I have given them more purpose than their useless human lives could ever give them. These are the Pokegirls that will kill or make slaves out of the humans for themselves and their sisters. These girls are some of my best creations. FCG Pokegirls first created generation are my first girls. My Dark Queen is the strongest of this class, and have the most black hearts within them. Poke class Pokegirls are the ones that gave them their name as Pokegirls. Oh, I didn't mention that, did I? You see, when a Pokegirl is with a human, they can seal themselves inside of that person. This creates a pocket dimension inside of that person, and this is why I decided to call them Pokegirls. I don't know why they all have this ability, but if this gives the human the illusion of control over my Pokegirls, then I see nothing wrong with it. Imposter Pokegirls look just like normal humans. I made them for the people that don't fall for my other girls. They are my perfect assassins, because no one would know that they are Pokegirls until it was already too late. Monster Girl Pokegirls have two different characteristics that the other classes don't have. Some look like a fusion between a woman and an animal or some kind of monster. The other one look just like imposter Pokegirls but can change their form without chakra evolving. These Pokegirls have a high SEC drive and will do anything to get into their target's pants. Living drawing Pokegirls are some of my strangest and most appealing of all my creations. By using chakra ink that I charged with RBB and Yin Yang chakra, the Pokegirls that I made with it looked like they were made out of colored ink. Thanks to the two chakras, it gives them the ability to do some pretty odd things, and to survive anything done to them. But the lower their chakra, the easier it is to kill them. When these Pokegirls completely run out of chakra, they melt into lifeless puddles of ink. These Pokegirls have high SEC drives. Evo Pokegirls are the last ones I made and have the longest chakra evolution lines. They also have the most multiple chakra evolution lines out of all the other Pokegirls. I gave all of these Pokegirls the word Mon at the end of their names to remember what class they are in. Now I know you are probably wondering why I told you so much. It's because you can't do anything about it. Even with the whole clan helping you, my girls will still win. So I say find the nearest Pokegirl and beg to be their pet. Well, that's all I'm going to tell you, my ancestor. So thank you, and know I will always be grateful for your help. Kushina then rolls up the scroll as she glares down at it. Dear Kami, what the hell was wrong with him? Naruto looks over at Kushina with a small frown and nods her head. I'm with you, Mom. That guy was absolutely insane. Naruto lets out a sigh with his eyes closed. Ah. Yeah, and he was one of the two people that started our clan. Yeah. He then feels Yukimi touch his right hand with her left, making him open his eyes and look at her. Yukimi looks into Naruto's eyes sadly. Naruto-kun, I'm not like. The Hokage stands up and looks down at Yukimi seriously while cutting her off. I'm sorry, Yukimi-chan, but you have to wait to say what you were going to say later. He then looks around the room at everybody. It's time we all get to the council chambers. He turns around and looks at Kat. Kat, you and your team are a part of this meeting as well. Kat gives the Hokage a nod. Yes, Lord Hokage. She and her team then remove the seals on the door and windows, with Tigress opening the door for the Hokage. Soon everyone exits the room and heads to the Hokage Tower. Hidden Leaf Hokage Tower, Council Chambers. 4 o'clock in the morning. Inside of a large circular room that has large wooden double doors, that are the only entrance and exit. It has 10 chairs on each side of the doors, 22 desks with chairs are separated with 11 on the right for the ninja clan heads and 11 on the left for the civilian clan heads. Also 3-row wooden bleachers are up against the center left and right side walls. They both have built-in stairs on the sides closest to the entrance and a long desk for each row. Right for ninja elders and left for civilian elders. Near the back wall is the Hokage's podium with two-seated curved desk built into it. They curve towards the 2 bleachers. Finally, on the floor in the center of all of this, is the hidden leaf symbol that's painted in red. Sitting in his chair behind the podium is the Hokage. He has a serious look on his face as looks at everyone in the room. A white plaque rests in front of him with the words printed in black. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the 3rd Hokage. 2 people are sitting at the right side curved desk next to Hiruzen. The one closest to him is an old woman and the next person is an old man. The 68-year-old woman stands 5 feet tall with peach skin, gray hair tied up in 2 buns, with one behind the other at an angle. A thin strand frames the right side of her face, black eyes and full lips. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, mid-B-cup melons, slim waistline, slim fit peach, slim legs and small feet. She is wearing a light purple kimono, a open green jacket over it, a red sash around her waist, blue sandals, a white sash around her left shoulder going down to her right peach and a hairpin through the center of her two buns. She has a slight frown on her face with her hands placed her lap. The plaque in front of her has her name printed in black on it. Koharu Yudatane. The 68-year-old man stands 5 feet, 5 inches tall with tan peach skin, short gray hair that's spiked up in the back, black eyes, thin lips and a gray beard that frames the bottom half of his face. His clothes hide his body shape but his big hands, slim fingers, and big feet. He is wearing a dark blue kimono, a tan open long jacket with large sleeves, blue sandals and green framed glasses. He has a frown on his face and his arms crossed over his chest. The plaque in front of him has his name printed in black on it. Hamura Mitokado. On the left side curved desk, sitting in the chair farthest away from the Hokage, is another old man. The 69-year-old man stands 5 feet, 6 inches tall with tan peach skin, short black hair, brown visible left eye, thin lips and a X-shaped scar on his chin. He has a slim body shape with a fit left arm, a big left hand, slim fingers, his right arm is inside of his robe, slim waistline and narrow peach. His robe hides the shape of his legs and feet. He is wearing a white shirt, a black robe over it that covers the right shoulder down to his waist, showing the left side of his upper body. It also goes down a little past his feet, and a purple sash around his waist that's tied on the front left side. He also has bandages wrapped around his forehead and covering his right eye. And lastly he holds a wooden cane in his left hand. The old man has his visible eye closed. The plaque in front of him has his name printed in black on it. Danzo Shimura. The two elders' bleachers have 11 seats in them. 4 seats in the top and middle rows with 3 seats in the bottom row. All 11 civilian elders are wearing gray kimonos, red sashes, and black sandals. The 8 ninja elders are all wearing white kimonos, blue sashes and blue sandals. All of them have their clan symbols on the back of their kimonos. A 75-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall with peach skin, short gray hair, light brown eyes and thin lips. He has a slim body shape with slim arms, big hands, slim fingers, slim waistline, narrow slim peach, slim legs and big feet. He is sitting at the end of the top row on the civilian bleachers. The plaque in front of him has his name on it. Kazumasa Uno. His clan symbol is a red star in a white circle. A 70-year-old woman that stands 5 feet, 3 inches tall with tan peach skin, long pale blue hair that's tied in pigtails, they stop at her melons, dark orange eyes and thin lips. She has a slim body shape with skinny arms, small hands, slim fingers, small B-cup melons, slim waistline, slim peach, skinny legs and small feet. She is sitting next to Kazumasa. The name on the plaque in front of her is Atsuko Sujimori. Her clan symbol is a white upside-down triangle touching a yellow triangle. A 80-year-old man that stands 4 feet, 5 inches tall with pale peach skin, short gray hair that spikes out at the ends, but the top of his head is bold, black eyes and thin lips. He has a slim body shape with fit arms, small hands, fat fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and small feet. He is sitting next to Atsuko. The name on the plaque in front of him is Motofumi Obata. His clan symbol is a blue plus sign inside of a black square. A 49-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 7 inches tall with tan peach skin, short spiky brown hair, dark blue eyes and full lips. He has a fit body shape, fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is sitting next to the start of the steps on the top row. The name on the plaque in front of him is Reiko Nomura. His clan symbol is a white throwing star with crimson tips. A 73-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 5 inches tall with pale peach skin, short graying brown hair, dark purple eyes and thin lips. He has a slim body shape with slim arms, big hands, slim fingers, slim waistline, narrow slim peach, slim legs and big feet. He is sitting at the end of the center row. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Koji Masuda. His clan symbol is 3 brown rectangles with one on top of the other. A 49-year-old man that stands 6 feet tall with tan peach skin, long, straight silver hair, icy blue eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is sitting next to Koji. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Akito Kamamori. His clan symbol is a white plus sign with 2 red X signs connected to it on the sides. A 62-year-old woman that stands 5 feet, 1 inch tall with pale peach skin, gray hair tied into 4 buns on the back of her head, hazel eyes, and thin lips. She has a rounded body shape with big arms, small hands, fat fingers, D-cup melons, rounded waistline, full rounded peach, big legs and big feet. She is sitting next to Akito. The name on the plaque in front of her is, Keita Hosaka. Her clan symbol is a orange teacup rested on a yellow circle. A 55-year-old man that stands 7 feet tall with peach skin, short black hair tied into a short ponytail, black eyes and thin lips. He has a fat muscular body shape with muscular arms, big hands, fat fingers, fat waistline, narrow fat peach, muscular legs and big feet. He is sitting next to the steps on the center row. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Toru Hikaru. His clan symbol is a black X with 4 white circles between the lines. A 60-year-old man stands 5 feet, 4 inches tall with peach skin, short, straight pale green hair with 2 bangs framing his face, green eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with slim arms, big hands, slim fingers, slim waistline, narrow fit peach, slim legs and big feet. He is sitting at the end of the bottom row. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Nobukiko Endo. His clan symbol is a sliver apple inside a yellow square. A 63-year-old man stands 5 feet, 6 inches tall with pale peach skin, gray hair tied into a rat tail that stops at the middle of his back, red eyes and full lips. He has a skinny body shape with skinny arms, small hands, slim fingers, skinny waistline, slim peach, skinny legs and small feet. He is sitting next to the bottom of the steps. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Keishi Ariazumi. His clan symbol is a black crow standing on the ground. A 50-year-old woman that stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall with peach skin, long, straight silver hair that stops at the middle of her back, dark brown eyes and full lips with red lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, D-cup melons, slim waistline, curvy peach, shapely legs and small feet. She is sitting in the center of the bottom row. The name on the plaque in front of her is, Katsumi Daigo. Her clan symbol is a golden goldfish jumping out of the water. A 53-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 7 inches tall with tan peach skin, straight pale pink hair that stops at the top of his shoulders. Green eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with slim arms, big hands, slim fingers, slim waistline, narrow fit peach, slim legs and big feet. He is sitting at the end of the top row on the ninja sides bleachers. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Toshinobu Haruno. His clan symbol is a white circle with a red outline. A 51-year-old woman stands 5 feet, 5 inches tall with tan peach skin, short black spiky hair, brown eyes, a red fawn tattoo on each cheek and thin lips. She has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers with sharp fingernails, big C-cup melons, fit waistline, curvy peach, fit shapely legs and big feet. She is sitting next to the top of the steps. The name on the plaque in front of her is, Yu Inuzuka. Her clan symbol is 2 red fawn marks. A 50-year-old woman that stands 5 feet, 3 inches tall with peach skin, dark gray spiky hair with 2 bangs framing her face, brown eyes and full lips. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, slim waistline, curvy peach, shapely legs and small feet. She also has a small silver hoop earring in her left ear. She is sitting next to the seat by the end of the center row. The name on the plaque in front of her is, Shermana Nara. Her clan symbol is a black outlined circle with 3 wavy black lines connected to the circle in it, a black line connected to the bottom of the circle to the bottom wavy line, a black line connected to the top of the circle to the top wavy line and a black line connected to the top wavy line to the center wavy line. A 55-year-old woman that stands 5 feet tall with tan peach skin, long blonde hair tied in a high ponytail that stops just below her shoulders, also has a bang covering her left eye, blue eyes and full lips with dark pink lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, small C-cup melons, slim waistline, curvy peach, shapely legs and small feet. She also has a small hoop earring in her left ear. She is sitting next to Shermana. The name on the plaque in front of her is, Boinoru Yamanaka. Her clan symbol is a black outlined circle with a black line through the center, a black line connected to the bottom of the circle to the line in the center, a black outlined half circle in the top half and 2 black lines in the half circle. A 52-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 7 inches tall with peach skin, long, straight tan hair that stops just below his shoulders, pale lavender eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is sitting at the end of the bottom row. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Hiroki Hyuga. His clan symbol is a black outlined fire sign inside of a black V with a black curved line near the top connecting the 2 ends together. The 22 desks are all set up the same on both sides, with 4 next to each other in rows of 2 and 3 in front. A 32-year-old woman that stands 5 feet, 6 inches tall with tan peach skin, long, straight brown hair that stops just below her shoulders, light brown eyes and full lips with pink lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, small C-cup melons, slim waistline, curvy peach, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a pink shirt, red pants and red sandals. She is sitting at the desk at the end of the first row on the civilian side. The name on the plaque in front of her is, Yumi Uno. A 48-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 10 inches tall with tan peach skin, long light blue spiky hair, dark orange eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a tan short sleeve shirt, light gray pants and blue sandals. He is sitting at the desk next to Yumi. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Go Sujimori. A 60-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall with peach skin, graying black hair tied into a short ponytail, dark brown eyes and thin lips. He has a slim body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, slim waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a black shirt, brown pants and black sandals. He is sitting at the desk next to Go. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Tomohiko Obata. A 30-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 8 inches tall with tan peach skin, short brown spiky hair with a bang framing the right side of his face, dark blue eyes and full lips. He has a fit body shape with slim arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, slim legs and big feet. He is wearing a red short sleeve shirt, a blue jacket that's left open with white sleeves over it, red pants, yellow sandals and white fingerless gloves. He is sitting at the last desk in the first row. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Tetsuya Nomura. A 33-year-old woman that stands 5 feet, 8 inches tall with peach skin, long blonde hair with 2 bangs framing her face, it stops at the middle of her back, dark purple eyes and full lips with red lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, D-cup melons, slim waistline, curvy peach, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a white t-shirt, a dark purple jacket that's left open over it, a dark purple skirt that stops halfway down her thighs, black 3-inch heeled sandals, black fingerless gloves and red fingernail and toenail polish. She is sitting at the desk at the end of the center row. The name on the plaque in front of her is, My Masuda. A 30-year-old man that stands 6 feet, 2 inches tall with tan peach skin, long sliver hair that spikes out at the ends, that stops just below his shoulders, icy blue eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a dark blue shirt, dark green pants and blue sandals. He is sitting at the desk next to my. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Akira Kamamori. A 37-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 7 inches tall with peach skin, brown hair tied into 4 buns on the back of his head, hazel eyes and thin lips. He has a fat body shape with fat arms, big hands, fat fingers, fat waistline, fat peach, fat legs and big feet. He is wearing a black button-up shirt with red buttons, brown pants and blue sandals. He is sitting at the desk next to Akira. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Nozomu Hosaka. A 33-year-old woman that stands 5 feet, 3 inches tall with peach skin, short reddish-brown hair, blue eyes and thin lips with dark pink lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, small C-cup melons, slim waistline, slim curvy peach, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a pink short-sleeve shirt, blue skirt that stops at her knees and blue sandals. She is sitting at the last desk in the center row. The name on the plaque in front of her is, Utada Hikaru. A 37-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall with peach skin, short dark green hair with 2 bangs framing his face, green eyes and thin lips. He has a slim body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a white button-up shirt, black pants and blue sandals. He is sitting at the desk at the end of the row of 3. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Sosuke Endo. A 42-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 8 inches tall with tan peach skin, black hair tied into a rat tail that stops at the middle of his back, red eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing a dark yellow shirt, white pants and blue sandals. He is sitting at the desk on the other end of the row of 3. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Yoshinori Ariazumi. A 30-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 8 inches tall with peach skin, short purple hair, brown eyes and full lips. He has a fit body shape with slim arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, slim legs and big feet. He is wearing a dark green kimono with the Daigo clan symbol on the back, a golden sash tied around his waist and blue sandals. He is sitting at the center desk in the row of 3. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Junichi Daigo. A 39-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 11 inches tall with peach skin, bushy brown hair and a thin mustache. He has big hands, slim fingers, slim legs and big feet. He is wearing a tan zipped-up jacket with big sleeves and a high collar. It hides most of his body shape with the collar hiding his mouth, brown pants, white bandages wrapped around his calves, blue sandals and sunglasses. He is sitting at the desk at the end of the first row on the ninja side. The name on the plaque in front of him is, Shibi Aburame. A 36-year-old woman that stands 5 feet, 7 inches tall with peach skin, short dark blonde hair with a bang over the center of her forehead, it also curves into 6 points at the back of her neck, with 3 on each side, green eyes and thin lips. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, D-cup melons, slim waistline, curvy peach, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a white sleeveless dress that have large slits on both sides from her peach down, it also has 3 red outline circles on the bottom front and back. Pink pants that stop halfway down her calves and brown sandals. She is sitting at the desk next to Shibi. The name on the plaque in front of her is, Mabuki Haruno. A 36-year-old woman that stands 5 feet, 4 inches tall with peach skin, short brown spiky hair, black slit-like eyes with red eyeliner, red fawn tattoos on her cheeks and thin lips with purple lipstick. She has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, big C-cup melons, fit waistline, slim fit peach, fit legs and big feet. She is wearing a short sleeve black shirt, dark blue pants and blue sandals. She is sitting at the desk next to Mabuki. The name on the plaque in front of her is Suminazuka. A 30-year-old woman that stands 5 feet, 5 inches tall with tan peach skin, long black hair tied into a ponytail, it stops at the middle of her back, light brown eyes and full lips with red lipstick. She has a slim body shape with slim arms, small hands, slim fingers, big B-cup melons, slim waistline, curvy peach, shapely legs and small feet. She is wearing a dark blue kimono, a red sash tied around her waist and blue sandals. She is sitting at the desk at the end of the center row. The name on the plaque in front of her is Chiwako Sarutobi. A 38-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 8 inches tall with tan peach skin, black hair tied into a short, spiky ponytail, beady black eyes, thin lips and a small pointed black beard. He has a fit body shape with slim arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, slim legs and big feet. He is wearing the same things as Irika see chapter 1 but the shirt. Instead it's a short sleeve fishnet shirt, forearm with hand protectors and a sleeveless torn apart open brown robe. He also has a small silver hoop earring in his left ear. He is sitting at the desk next to Chiwako. The name on the plaque is Shikaka Nara. A 38-year-old man that stands 5 feet, 11 inches tall with tan peach skin, dark blonde spiky hair tied into a high ponytail that stops at the middle of his back. He also has 2 thin bangs framing his face, green eyes and thin lips. He has a fit body shape with fit arms, big hands, slim fingers, fit waistline, narrow fit peach, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing most of the same things as Shikaku, but a long sleeve black shirt, a sleeveless red vest and his forehead protector around his head. He also has a small silver hoop earring in his left ear. He is sitting at the desk next to Shikaku. The name on the plaque in front of him is Inoichi Yamanaka. A 38-year-old man that stands 6 feet tall with peach skin, high red bushy hair that spikes out at the ends, black beady eyes, blue line tattoos on his cheeks and thin lips. He has a rounded body shape with fit arms, big hands, fat fingers, rounded waistline, rounded peach, fit legs and big feet. He is wearing most of the same things as Inoichi, but a green chest and Stioitmak guard strapped around him. It has the kanji for food painted on it in red, a thick rope belt tied around his waist and a white headband tied around his head. He also has a small silver hoop earring in his left ear. He is sitting at the last desk in the center row. The name on the plaque in front of him is Choza Akimichi. Finally sitting at his desk in the front row at the end, Hayashi waits patiently for the meeting to start. Cat, Tigress and Lioness are standing on guard behind Hiruzen. As Leopard and Cheetah are standing on guard on each side of the large doors. Hiruzen looks around the room seriously and then addresses everyone. Good, you are all here. Before this meeting can begin however, he then looks over at the 2 at the door. Let them enter now. They both nodded and opened the doors letting in the 12 people. Kakashi entered first followed by Irika, Sasuke, Hinata, Hanabi, Naruto and Naruko. But some of the council members were not too happy when they saw Naruto. Danzo looks over at Hiruzen with a frown. Hiruzen, you said that this is an important meeting. So why are they here? Kohara nods her head and looks over at all of them that entered. Danzo is right. It's highly inappropriate that they are allowed here in the council chambers. Even with one that'll get his seat as soon as he's old enough. And whichever daughter Hayashi chooses to take his seat when the time comes. Hamura crosses his arms over his chest as he looks at Naruto and Naruko. Especially someone who can't take being allowed in here seriously. Is the young woman next to him another one of the boy's childish jokes? Then all eyes, but Hayashi's turned to Hiruzen. none of them noticing the 5 people entering the room and the door being closed. Motofumi frowns as he crosses his arms over his chest. Unless the boy is finally going to pay for all the trouble he's caused this village. Tomohiko nods his head with a frown of his own. I agree with my father. He's a bad influence on the children. Tsum lets out a groan as she glares at the man and his father. Gare. Will you idiots leave the pup alone? He does not deserve any of your CRP. Both Naruto and Naruko looked at her with shocked looks on their faces. The two of them thought the same thing. There's someone on the council that might not hate me. Chiwako looks over at the two of them with a small. I might not know about the young woman, but I've heard a lot about you, Naruto. Dad acts like you're his second grandson, you know. Naruto's and Naruko's jaws drop open as Naruto looks back and forth between Chiwako and Hiruzen. Naruto then points at Chiwako with his left index finger, while looking at Hiruzen with widened eyes and a small blush on his cheeks. That's your daughter. Naruko also has a small blush as she looks at her. The old man only said she was pretty. He never said that she is this appealing. Atsuko looks at Naruto with a glare. Show some respect to Lord Hokage's daughter. Staring at a married woman like that, do you have no shame, boy? Go frowns hatefully at Naruto. I don't think he does, mother. I think it's about time we make him pay for all the damages he's caused to all of the clan's properties. He then gives Naruto a smirk. Like my clan's apartment buildings. Yumi rolls her eyes and looks over at Go with a small frown. But you and Lady Atsuko banned him from all of your apartment's buildings 5 years ago. Kazumasa nods his head as he looks over at Go. Besides Lord Go, Lord Hokage took care of all of the damages already. Nobukiko looks over at Kazumasa with a glare while gritting his teeth. That's besides the point, Lord Kazumasa. He then looks over at Hiruzen with a frown and crosses his arms over his chest. But what about what the boy did to my clan's supermarket? I say we make this good for nothing, little brat. He is cut off by a very angry feminine yell that gets everyone's attention, but Hiruzen and Hayashi. What the hell did you have the nerve to call my son? They all look over to where the voice had come from. When they see a very angry Kushina standing in between Naruto and Naruko. Their eyes widen in shock and their jaws drop open. As Mabuki with tears running down her face and Tsum with tears threatening to fall, both stand up and quickly walk up to the group. No one noticed Danzo as he glares at the 4 revived women. Mabuki tightly hugs Kushina and lightly sobs as Kushina hugs her back with a smile. I thought I'd never see any of you again. Kushina-chan, she then lets go and hugs Mikoto. Mikoto-chan. She then finally hugs Hitomi. Hitomi-chan. Tsum looks at them with a smirk, her eyes full of unshed tears and her hands on her slim peach. So not even death can beat you 3, huh? It's good to see all of you again. Before any of the 3 women can say anything, Rin steps forward with a playful pout and her hands on her slim peach. Hey! Aren't you happy to see me, to Lady Tsum, Lady Mabuki? Both women turn their heads to the right to Rin. Mabuki's eyes widen in shock and her jaw drops open. Tsun's eyes have also widened in shock and she just blinks for a few seconds. After that, a single tear falls from her left eye and a big smile forms on her face. Rin-chan, pup, you're alive too. What the hell is going on? Though I'm happy to see you again. Mabuki lets go of Hitomi to quickly move over to Rin, bends down slightly and hugs her tightly. Rin-chan, you're alive again. How is any of this possible? Hiruzen then addresses the room and gets everyone's attention. I can answer that question, but what I'm about to say does not leave this room. He then looks at everybody with a serious glare. Do I make myself clear? Everyone answers back with a, yes Lord Hokage, but Danzo, who just nods his head. Hiruzen then entwines his fingers together, raises his hands in front of the lower half of his face and rests his elbows on top of the podium. He has a very serious look on his face. Good. Now I want no interruptions. So save all questions until I have finished. He then takes in a breath. Now, the 4 women standing before you are perfect clones, even more perfect than shadow clones. They were brought to life with what is called BLD clone jutsu. They have all the training, jutsu, memories and feelings of the women that they are made from. They are truly solid, a lot more than shadow clones. They are 100% alive and are true human clones. They are just as much as the person they are cloned from as the person was themselves. Sasuke, who is sitting in a chair to the left and a little bit away from the group, looks over at Mikoto with a small frown, but a little bit of hope in his eyes. Can she really be more than just a clone? Is she really basically my mother? He then looks down at the floor with a thoughtful look on his face. Hiroki has a small frown on his face as he looks at Hiruzen. But Lord Hokage, by the way you talk, you sound like we should see these things for more than just the copies they are. Hayashi looks over at Hiroki with a straight face. You are right that they are copies, father. But they are a part of the person they are copied from. She has everything that Hitomi had. He then looks at Hitomi with the same straight face before looking back at Hiroki. She is Hitomi, father. Hiroki closes his eyes and shakes his head. Are you thinking with your heart or your head, my son? He then opens his eyes and looks at Hayashi seriously. Remember which one is the right one to listen to. He then looks over at Hinata with a glare. It is because my granddaughter listens to her heart is what makes her the disappointment that she is. Most in the room don't care about what Hiroki said. Some look over at Hinata with sympathy, including some of the female civilians, most of the ninjas and Hiruzen. While the rest just glare at him, including Rin, Mikoto, Kushina, Naruto, Naruto and Hitomi. Hinata looks down at the floor and bites her bottom lip as she tries not to cry. Hitomi then looks over at Hayashi to see what he would say. But all he does is give Hiroki a nod and looks back forward. Hitomi's hands tighten into fist and she glares at Hayashi. Naruto takes a step forward and points at Hiroki with his right index finger. Hey! You can't talk about Hinata-chan like that. Naruto takes a step forward as well. Yeah. Hinata is a lot stronger than you give her credit for. You. Hiruzen cuts her off while looking at both Naruto and Naruto seriously. Naruto, that's enough. The two of them both look at Hiruzen in shock as they both say at the same time. But old man. Kushina cuts them off by squeezing their shoulders lightly and then whispers. Don't worry, it's better that she shows how wrong that old BSTRD is herself. As both Naruto and Naruto look away from Hiroki with frowns and giving Kushina a nod. Rin and Mikoto both smirk as they heard what Kushina said. Hitomi wraps her right arm around Hinata and rests her hand on Hinata's right shoulder, giving it a gentle squeeze. Hanabi looks at Naruto and Naruto with a smile. Wow. They both really look out for you, don't they, sister? Hinata looks at Naruto and Naruto in shock after they yelled at her grandfather. You two really do care about me. Just like when you stood up against those bullies so long ago, Naruto. Her shocked look changes into a happy smile as she looks at Naruto. You are always there for me when you can be. I wish you knew how I feel about you. Her smile then becomes a sad frown and she looks away from him. But you like Sakura. You don't like overly curvy girls like me. She bites her bottom lip again and look back at Naruto hopefully. But maybe we'll be put on the same team and maybe just maybe. Keishi glares at Naruto and Naruto as he crosses his arms over his chest. Show some respect, you little brats. You do you two think you are, yelling at one of this village's elders. Yoshinori also glare hatefully at Naruto. Don't waste your time on the brat, Dad. I doubt he knows the meaning of anything. He then looks Naruto up and down with his right eyebrow raised. But, who is this young woman that looks like him? Shermana smirks and rests her right cheek in her right hand while looking at Hiruzen lazily. Lord Hokage, I think we're getting a little off topic. Shikaku nods his head and lets out a sigh. Ah. Yes, the more troublesome and important question is, who is the one that used this BLD clone jutsu and brought this 4 back to life? Everyone looks over at Hiruzen wanting to know who created such a jutsu. Hiruzen looks around the room before stopping on the 4 revived women. Unfortunately, we have no idea on the identity of the person who created the jutsu. As most of them look back at the 4 women, or to glare at Naruto. No one noticed that as Danzo looked away from Hiruzen, his shoulders slightly relaxed a little. Hiruzen then looks a bit grimly as he continues. The only things that Kat and her team was able to find was a single page that had the name of the jutsu, as well the names of the 4 women standing before us. And the few remains of an unknown person. They were found inside of a room next to the one you 4 were in. Apparently, it looks like the person was covered in paper bombs and blown apart. Many people look back at Hiruzen in horror, some glare down at the ground and Danzo just has a blank look on his face. Hiruzen then looks at Yoshinori with a small glare. And as for your question, Mr. Ayazumi. She is, as I said, Naruko Uzumaki. Daughter of Kushina Uzumaki and sister of Naruto Uzumaki. He then looks at everyone seriously. And that is everything that everyone in this room needs to know, am I understood? Everybody nods their heads, with some of them doing so a bit fearfully and all say, yes, Lord Hokage. Hiruzen then nods his head and smirks behind his hands. Now, let's take care of one last thing before we talk about the true matter of why I called this meeting. With Mikoto Uchiha and Kushina Uzumaki returned to us. I say we put to vote that they become members of this council. As well as give Kushina all rights to rebuild her clan in this village. I know most of the civilians would have said no just to spite Naruto, but I dare them to say no to Mikoto. BLD clone or not, they wouldn't say no to a Senju or Uchiha. Koharu shakes her head and looks at Hiruzen. I vote against. I'm not convinced that they should be seen as the ones they're cloned from. Hamura nods his head and crosses his arms over his chest. I also vote against. I agree with Koharu. Danzo looks at the 2 women before closing his visible eye. Well played, Hiruzen, you win this round. I vote for. The ninja side needs more members. Katsumi has a small smirk on her face as she looks at Naruto. Why, thank you, Lord Hokage. Not only can I show Naruto how sorry I am now, but I can hopefully get a second chance at real love with him. Your mother may have got in the way of me being with your father. But she won't get in my way this time. Her smirk then changes into a smile. I vote for. Junichi looks at Katsumi in shock and his mouth open a little bit. Mother. What the hell are you thinking? You're helping the DMN demon. He then glares down at the top of his desk. I know your vote is for Lady Mikoto, but what if it's not her and this is just some trick of that little BSTRD? Just like the woman that looks like him. Sister my peach. The only help I'll ever give you, you little monster, is help to your grave. He then looks up with a calm straight face. I vote against. Toshinobu, Hiroki, Hayashi, Yu, Nabukiko, Sosuke, Koji, Mai, Atsuko and Go all voted against. Shibi, Chuza, Mabuki, Tsum, Shimana, Shikaku, Chiwako, Boinoru, Inoichi, Keishi, Yoshinori, Toru, Utada, Keita, Nozomu, Akito, Akira, Reiko, Tetsuyu, Motofumi, Tomohiko, Kazumasa and Yumi all voted for. Hiruzen smiles as he rests his hands on top of the podium. Well, with 26 for and 13 against. I welcome both Mikoto Uchiha and Kushina Uzumaki as new members of the Hidden Leaf Council. He then looks at the 3 Uzumakis. And after this meeting is over, Kushina, Naruto, Naruko. Kat will take you all to your clan grounds. All 3 Uzumakis have the same look on their faces as they look at Hiruzen. With their eyes open wide in shock. Kushina is the one that snaps out of it first. She then raises her right eyebrow with a surprised look on her face. Old man, what do you mean by our clan grounds? Hiruzen gives her a smile. It was a surprise for you that the fourth set up. But because of what happened it was never put to vote until now. It would have been put to vote when Naruto turned 16 of course. But with you back, I don't think we have to wait to then, right? Kushina looks down sadly, bites her bottom lip and nods her head. Kakashi rests his left hand on her right shoulder, making her look up at him. He gives her an eye smile and she gives him a small smile back. Hiruzen then looks seriously at Kushina and Mikoto. Now for this council meeting to continue. Kushina, please sit at the desk next to Tsum. While Mikoto, please take the Uchiha clan seat. Mabuki and Tsum sit back down at their desk and Kushina sits down at hers. She still has a little sadness on her face when she feels someone lightly jabbing her left arm. She turns to head to the left, seeing Tsum giving her a small smirk and Mabuki giving her a smile. She smiles back at them. Mikoto however stops at her desk and just looks down at it. Shibi's right eyebrow slightly raises as he looks up at her. Is there something wrong, Mikoto? Mikoto is startled a bit and looks at Shibi. Oh, Shibi. No, everything's alright. It's just, she then looks back down at the desk. It's just a little weird for me to be sitting in my late husband's seat. She then sits down while still looking down at the desk and biting her bottom lip. Well, I guess this is something I just have to get used to. Hiruzen then nods his head and continues to look at everyone seriously. Now everyone else can take a seat as well, but before that, Naruto, please give Yukimi-chan the scroll about her and her kin. And Yukimi-chan come forward. Naruto gives Hiruzen a smile and nods his head. You got it, old man. He then pulls out the scroll from his left pocket and hands it over to Yukimi. Here you go, Yukimi-chan. As Naruto was passing the scroll over to Yukimi, everyone that didn't see Yukimi before look at her in shock or with raised eyebrows. Yukimi takes the scroll with her left hand with a smile. Thank you, Naruto-kun. She then starts to walk to the center of the room. Sosuke blinks his shocked-filled eyes as he stares at Yukimi. What the hell kind of creature is that? Mai shakes her head as she looks at Yukimi in slight disgust. I have no idea, but it has no hair. And are those round things on its head supposed to be its ears? Utada turns away from Yukimi to glare at Sosuke and Mai. You two be quiet. I think she's cute. Inoichi looks over at Choza with his left eyebrow raised. Do you think she is some kind of summons? Choza rests his chin in his right hand as he looks at Yukimi curiously. I don't know. She looks like some kind of small, skinny bear. Yukimi turns around and looks at Choza with a smile. Actually, I'm a poke girl. Koji looks at Yukimi incredulously. A what? Toru looks at Yukimi apologetically. I'm sorry, miss, but that is a very odd name. Danzo looks up at Hiruzen seriously. Hiruzen, where did this girl come from? Does she have anything to do with those lights that shut across the sky a few hours ago? Hiruzen nods his head and looks at everyone in the room. Yes, apparently someone we don't know opened an old chest and her kin were set free. It seems a long time ago, a man calling himself Sukebe created them. He then looks down at Yukimi with a small smile. My dear, will you please read from that scroll? Yukimi gives Hiruzen a smile and nods her head. You got it, Lord Hokage. She then opens the scroll and her smile becomes a nervous one. But we're going to be here for a while. So everyone better make themselves comfortable. Almost an hour later. Everyone in the room was blinking in disbelief or looking down and frowning in thought after Yukimi finished reading out the scroll. Koharu then looks up at Hiruzen seriously. I say we exterminate every last one in and around the village while they're still weak. Some members in the room nod their heads in agreement, while others look away in disagreement or look at her in horror. Hamura looks up at Hiruzen as well. If we are putting this to vote, then I agree with Koharu. We cannot let these poke girls live and put our village in danger. Yukimi glares angrily at Koharu and Hamura. You can't do that. We didn't ask to be turned into what we are now. Yes. There are some dangerous poke girls around this village. But most of us don't want to do that maniac's plan. We just want to be free and live. Hiruzen looks down at Yukimi calmly. Take it easy, Yukimi-chan. This is not up to vote and that is not my decision. Danzo looks up at Hiruzen seriously. Hiruzen, don't tell me that you trust this thing. You can't make a decision just because you feel sorry for her and her kind. Yukimi then looks over at Danzo with her angry glare. Hey! I'm trustworthy. I'd never do anything to Naruto-kun. And to prove it, I tell everyone here the 3 things that Sukebe didn't put in this scroll. She then looks at the scroll in her right hand confusingly, but has some anger in her eyes. Though I don't know why. Danzo then looks back at Yukimi with a glare. And why are you mentioning it now and not earlier? Yukimi continues to glare at Danzo as she crosses her arms over her chest. I was. She then looks back over at Koharu and Hamura. Before these two talked about killing me and all the other poke girls around here like we're just some mindless monsters. Hiruzen gives her a small smile and nods his head. Then please continue, Yukimi-chan. Yukimi uncrosses her arms, takes in a calming breath and looks up at Hiruzen without her glare. Okay, the first thing is about how we reproduce. You see, we can only have 1 egg per stage. You looks at her with her right eyebrow raised. Your kind lays eggs. Yukimi turns to you and gives her a nod. Yes, we do. I've seen it happen 14 times before. After a few hours after a poke girl has SEC with a human for the first time. We will lay an egg. But that egg will not hatch until the human parent puts some of their chakra into it. We can also put the egg inside of our partner's seal. We also can't get each other PRGNT. Akira crosses his arms over his chest and smirks. If you ask me, it sounds like you poke girls need us humans a hell of a lot. Yukimi gives Akira a nod and then looks back at Hiruzen. The next thing is, and I know this is going to be hard to believe but it's true. Women can also get poke girls PRGNT. Katsumi raises both of her eyebrows in shock as she looks at Yukimi. Yukimi, honey, you do know how babies are made, right? Yukimi turns and looks at Katsumi with an angry look. Of course I know how babies are made. I'm not stupid. He made us watch from our cages as she then stops herself and looks away. As he had a woman before he turned her into a poke girl get raped by 2 poke girls. A few hours later, both poke girls laid an egg. I think the only way it works is that the woman's PP has to be against the poke girl's PP when she leaks. Akito just shakes his head as he looks down. Dear Kami. What a terrible man this Sukebe was. Danzo glares at Yukimi as he gets everyone's attention. Yukimi, you said that you have 3 things to tell us. So lift up your head and continue. You are wasting this council's time by thinking about what happened in the past. Hiruzen looks over at Danzo and glares at him. Danzo, give her a minute. She's not a criminal and I will not let you treat her as one. Understood. Before Danzo could say something, Yukimi interrupts him. It's okay, Lord Hokage. I'm alright. Now the last thing is something that I'm sure Sukebe was not happy about. You see, when a person becomes partners with a poke girl, they will be drawn to another one. I don't know if it happens to everybody or if it happens to women or not. But I saw it happen to Sukebe 9 times. He entered the room he kept us in just like any other day. But it was like he just felt her and quickly walk up to her cage. He would look into their eyes and they would look back into his, breathing heavily, licking their lips and begging to be let out. All 9 times he did it, they would be all over him and he'd take them right there in front of us. Day after day. A few days after taking the 9th poke girl. He was thinking out loud and gave the feeling a name. He calls it the poke girl HRM calling. Shikaku lets out a sigh as he rests his right cheek in his right hand. Ah. Well, this is very troublesome. Shimano looks over at Shikaku with a lazy smile. I agree with you, son. Chiwako looks over at Hiruzen with a curious look. So what is your decision about the Pokegirls farther? Hiruzen looks around the room seriously as he gets everyone's attention. To protect and strengthen our village. Every ninja must have at least one Pokegirl partner from now on. And if any civilian wants a Pokegirl or Pokegirls, then they can as long as they treat them as people and not pets or property. This is now law. Once again everyone in the room answers him at the same time, but Danzo. Yes, Lord Hokage. Hiruzen then looks at Danzo with a serious glare. And Danzo, do not forget who is the Hokage. Do I make myself clear to you? Danzo looks up at Hiruzen and nods his head. Yes, Lord Hokage. Forgive me for my rudeness earlier. Hiruzen nods his head and looks back at everyone in the room. Now, today every ninja but Naruto is to go out and find a Pokegirl partner. Those without clan grounds will look in all the training grounds, but training ground 44. Tigress, lioness, leopard, cheetah, go tell every ninja that doesn't have a clan everything they need to know and do about the Pokegirls. The four Umbu nod their heads and all answer at the same time. Yes, Lord Hokage. They then put their hands in the tiger seal and body flicker out of the room. Hiruzen then continues. And everyone else here, tell the ninja of your clans what they need to know and what to do. After everyone saying, Yes, Lord Hokage. He gives all of them a smile. Well then, I call this meeting to an end. You are all dismissed, until our meeting next week. Kushina-chan, Naruto-kun and Naruko-chan, please come here a second. As everyone was leaving, Hitomi, Sum and Mabuki walk up to Kushina with a smile. Sum puts her right hand on Kushina's left shoulder. Well, Kushina-chan, I'll see you later today. I'll even bring my kids with me. Mabuki smiles as she nods. Yeah. And I'll bring my family with me too. Hitomi puts her hands on her full peach with a small frown on her face. I'll leak by with Hinata-chan and Hanabi-chan. She then watches as Hayashi walks by them. Me and my husband have to talk about some things first before I let him leak. Hayashi stands in the now open doorway, turns around and looks at Hitomi with Hinata and Hanabi at his sides. Hitomi, hurry up, we still have some important matters to talk about. All four women look at Hayashi with a small glare as Tsum crosses her arms over her chest. He really changed for the worst when you died, Hitomi-chan. Hitomi looks over at Kushina with a small smile. Is 3 o'clock okay, Kushina-chan? Kushina give her a nod. All four women say goodbye to each other. While the four women were talking to each other, Katsumi walks up to Naruto with a smile. Hello, Naruto-kun. I know you don't know me, but do you have a second? Naruto looks up at her with a small glare. I might not know you, lady, but I know your son and your clan hate me. So what do you want? Katsumi puts her left hand on his right cheek and looks into his eyes apologetically. This makes his eyes widen in shock as he blushes. I know my clan and myself have done you wrong in the past, but I promise to do anything to make it up to you. She then bends down slightly to let him see inside of her kimono at the large amount of melons it shows. Anything. Naruto gulps and his blush darkens as his eyes are glued to her melons. I might think about it. Katsumi gives him a smile and kisses his left cheek. Please do. Until we meet again, young Lord Uzumaki. She then straightens back up and walks away with a sway to her curvy peach. Naruto barely blinks as he watches walk away. DMN, that woman is really hot for her age. He snaps out of it when he hears Naruto calling out to him. Hey little brother. What are you doing? On already. He quickly turns around and see his mother, sister and Yukimi standing next to Hiruzen and Kat. He shakes his head and runs up to them. Hiruzen then smiles at Naruto and Naruto. Okay, you two, tomorrow you both will have to come here to the Hokage Tower to get your pictures taken for you ninja IDs. He then looks over at Yukimi. And you, Yukimi-chan, come with them so you can get your leaf head protector. Yukimi looks up at Hiruzen with a big smile. Thank you Lord Hokage. She then turns to Naruto and hugs his right arm tightly to her chest, squeezing his arm between her melons. You heard that Naruto-kun. I'm going to be a ninja just like you and Naruto-chan. She then looks up into his eyes with hers sparkling in joy. I'm so happy you're my partner Naruto-kun. Naruto looks down at Yukimi with a big smile and is blushing. And I'm happy you picked me Yukimi-chan. He then lightly pulls his arm out of her hold as Naruto joins them. The three of them then hold hands as they jump around in a circle while joyfully repeating. We did it. We did it. We're ninjas. We're ninjas. Hiruzen lets out a laugh as he watches the three before looking at Kushina. Ha 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 ha. And Kushina-chan, here is something that I never thought I would be able to give to you. He then reaches into his left sleeve and pulls out a scroll, that he hands to her. Your deed to your clan grounds. Kushina smiles as she takes the scroll with her right hand. Thanks old man. This means a lot to me. Hiruzen nods his head while placing his right hand on Kushina's left shoulder. You're welcome Kushina-chan. He then turns his head and looks at Kat. Kat, please show the Uzumakis the way to their clan grounds. Kat nods her head and has a happy tone in her voice. Yes Lord Hokage. She then looks at the others. Okay you four, please follow me. Naruto looks up at Kat with a smile. Lead the way Kat-chan. He then looks over at Hiruzen. Later old man. Naruto gives Hiruzen a smile and waves with her right hand. Bye old man. Kushina gives Hiruzen her own smile. There's some things I'd like to talk to you about old man, but that can wait to tomorrow. See you later old man. Yukimi smiles and gives Hiruzen a little bow. Thanks again Lord Hokage. I see you tomorrow. Soon the five leave the room, leaving Hiruzen the last one inside of the meeting room. As he watches them go, the smile on his face changes into a sad frown. As much as I want to be only happy right now. You being alive again makes things more complicated Kushina-chan. And with you a ninja now and with your clan rights Naruto-kun. It's only a matter of time before the world knows that you're a Uzumaki by BLD and not just by name. And who your father is. Good luck to all of you. I just hope I don't die too soon. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 2. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Manidragon 5 on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video, till then goodbye.